तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोविष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातान् सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमाहं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरकृष्णे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So we have to begin with 10.10 and then 10.11. So as we are reading this Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita, actually this is one of the very most important vital sections of Bhagavad Gita. This is the mid of Bhagavad Gita. Now it's been said in terms of the verses. So middle in also in a sense that the essence over here is spoken in a very in a very uh, efficiently in a very small crisp way. Krishna has spoken the essence of Bhagavad Gita over here. So then we will recite these four shlokas together, and then you all then we'll discuss in specific 10.10 onwards. Yeah. अहं सर्वस्य प्रभवो मत्ता सर्वं प्रवर्तते इति मत्वा भजन्ते मां बुधा भाव समन्वितः. Read the translation.
Translation: I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts.
Worship me with all their hearts, right now. Buddha bhava samanvitaha. And then next he says, Machchata madgata prana bodhayantas parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Read.
Translation: The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me.
Yes. So they enlighten each other by conversing about the Lord. So this is 10.10. Tesham shatatayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mama upayanti te. Hmm.
Translation: To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me.
Yes. So the first two verses, the Machita Matkata Prana, the last verse, talks about, Abhidheya. Means what is the process they follow? Matchitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam. And then what in return they get, what is the prayojan? What they get is tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Oh, in return, what they get is this: they get satisfaction, and they get a great pleasure, right? Na? They become pleased, becomes pleased, no, tushyanti, satisfied, you can also, we can say. And this is the prayojan. This is the result of actually performance of devotional service. Matchita Matgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam. So this verse talks about Abhidaya and Prayojan both. And then the 10.10 talks about 10.10 and 10.11 majority talks about Abhidaya. So we decided 10.10, we'll also decide 10.11. तेषामेवानुकम्पार्थम् अहम् अज्ञानजं तमः नाश्यामि आत्मभावस्थो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता.
To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance.
Yes. So now we will so we'll come back to the 10.10 and read the purport. So we have to read the entire purport, and I had highlighted. Let me show you highlighted one. Does everybody knows that today we have a class because very less of them are there?
Because Radheshyam Prabhu is in GD.
Okay, okay, fine. Yes, bro. Please read the purport.
In this verse, the word Buddhi Yogam is very significant. We may remember that in the second chapter, the Lord instructing Arjuna said that he had spoken to him many things and that he would instruct him in the way of Buddhi Yoga. Now, Buddhi Yoga is explained. Buddhi Yoga itself is action in Krishna consciousness. That is the highest intelligence. Buddhi means intelligence, and Yoga means mystic activities or mystic elevation. When one tries to go back home, back to Godhead, and takes fully to Krishna consciousness in devotional service, his action is called Buddhi Yoga. In other words, Buddhi Yoga is the process by which one gets out of the entanglement of this material world. One should know that the goal is Krishna, and when the goal is assigned, then the path is slowly but progressively traversed, and the ultimate goal is achieved. When a person knows the goal of life but is addicted to the fruits of activities, he is acting in Karma Yoga. When he knows that the goal is Krishna but he takes pleasure in mental speculations to understand Krishna, he is acting in Jnana Yoga. And when he knows the goal and seeks Krishna completely in Krishna consciousness and devotional service, he is acting in Bhakti Yoga or Buddhi Yoga, which is the complete yoga. This complete yoga is the highest perfectional stage of life. A person may have a bona fide spiritual master and may be attached to a spiritual organization, but if he is still not intelligent enough to make progress, then Krishna from within gives him instructions so that he may ultimately come to him without difficulty. The qualification is that a person always engage himself in Krishna consciousness and with love and devotion render all kinds of services. He should perform some sort of work for Krishna, and that work should be with love. If a devotee is not intelligent enough to make progress in the path of self realization, but is sincere and devoted to the activities of devotional service, the Lord gives him a chance to make progress and ultimately attain to Him.
Yes. So as Krishna is over here saying over here that if somebody does, you know, the Preeti Purvakam. No, this word is a very important word because Krishna is saying uh, not a general devotional service. You know, not general devotional service will lead to dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. No, one has to perform. That's why Prabhupada is writing below in the last paragraph that the qualification is that a person is always engaged himself in Krishna consciousness and with love and devotion render all kinds of devotional service. He should perform some sort of work for Krishna, and that work should be with love. No problem. If he's not intelligent enough, I'll give him the buddhi. But is sincere and devoted to the activities of devotional service. Lord gives him a chance to make progress and ultimately attain to him. So then, so this is a verse which Krishna is very, is saying very clearly that devotee has to be engaged in performance of devotional service in a priti purvakam. So so he is primarily talking over here that the devotee should be engaged in devotional service with affection and devotion, priti purvakam, right? Na? So if somebody performs bhakti affectionately, not resentfully, not grudgingly, you know, we may chant grudgingly, mala complete karna hai. We may sometimes, perform devotional service mindlessly, not affectionately. We may just do, we say also mechanically. Affectionately is a requirement which Krishna is saying. So one has to do, or somebody does bhakti, why? Oh, we have to do, else I have to write Mahamantra. you know, no, not with these kind of performance of bhakti, this kind of the performance of devote bhakti, dadami buddhi yogam tam will happen. Krishna won't give it so easily then. So Krishna is saying affectionately if he does it. You know? So I give him what? Dadami buddhi yogam. I will give buddhi yoga, by which they will come to me. So then, you know, so buddhi yoga actually is a combination of two words, right? Na? Buddhi and yoga. So is somewhere else also in Bhagavad Gita does Krishna says about this word buddhi yoga? Do you remember? You have read it. Hmm? Where you have come across this word buddhi yoga? Krishna says Krishna says this word in 2.39 actually. When Krishna is actually says about esh eshate abhita sankhye buddhi yoge to imam shrinu buddhaya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. So there Krishna says that Krishna is saying that no, buddhi yoge tvam imam shrinu. Okay, hear it carefully. This buddhi yoga. I am going to explain to you so that when you act in such knowledge, you will be free from all the kinds of bondage of work. So Krishna is saying in 2.39. Whereas over here, when Krishna is saying about buddhi yoga, is about he is saying that so over there Krishna is very specifically is not saying that you perform buddhi yoga 2.39 doesn't talks about Krishna's presence over there. Krishna in general is speaking that you hear my instruction and perform it like that, but there is no exclusively personal presence of the Lord is not being spoken by the Lord himself. But over here in this verse 10.10, Krishna is saying about Buddhi Yoga in a very personal way. Nana, he is saying you have to perform. 2.39 says, कर दो, जैसे भी करो, bondage of work नहीं होगा. बट यहाँ पे बोल रहे हैं कहीं जैसे भी करो से नहीं होने वाला. ये बुद्धि योगा प्रीति पूर्वकम होना चाहिए. अगर प्रीति पूर्वक भक्ति करो तो बुद्धि योग देंगे. और इससे होता क्या है? What is the result? We have been awarded. Krishna is saying, "Are you will come back to me." Yena mam upayantite. So over 2.39, Krishna is just saying you'll be freed from the bondage of work. Over here, Krishna is saying, if you perform Priti Purvakam, I will give you Buddhi Yoga, you will come back to me. So there's a difference between Buddhi Yoga over here and Buddhi Yoga in 3.2, 2.39. So over there is basically the body and soul difference. Do the yoga, you connect with higher spiritual reality, but who is that higher spiritual reality is not told over there. But over here, Krishna is very clearly saying, over there it was not told who is the highest spiritual reality, but here Krishna is saying, I am that highest reality. I am the supreme truth. I give the knowledge by which you will come back to me. So this verse is a very headache verse for Mayavadis, you know, because Krishna here is talking about himself very directly. Now you will come back to me. So they generally say, so how these Mayavadis they talk about this verse. They say here Krishna is saying, by doing bhakti you will get, by doing bhakti you get buddhi. The buddhi will come, you know. So buddhi is higher so buddhi is highest than bhakti also. So gyan is higher than bhakti. And what is that gyan? Merging into impersonal Brahman. But do you think Krishna is speaking about over here merging into Brahman? He is exclusively speaking what about over here? What will happen to a person who will get buddhi yoga? Arey, ye na mam upayantite, you will come back to me. Right? Na? He is not saying that you'll go to and merge into Brahman. He is saying you will come back to me, to my destination. You know? So over here Krishna is very exclusively saying. So that is why this verse is a very challenging verse for Mayavadis. So Buddhi Yoga can be mean too. Prabhupada is also mentioning it, in his purport about this particular, shloka. He actually he himself is speaking about that Buddhi Yoga. So Buddhi means intelligence and Yoga means mystic activity or mystic elevation. So when one tries to go, so uh, so Buddhi Yoga itself is action in Krishna consciousness. That is the highest intelligence. So when one tries to go back home, back to Godhead, and takes fully to Krishna consciousness in devotion service, his action is called Buddhi Yoga. Or in other words, Buddhi Yoga is a process by which one gets out of entanglement of this material world. No. So, no, Buddhi Yoga over here is been, in two ways Prabhupada is explaining. Is one is that, Buddhi yoga means buddhi which helps us to do yoga, or yoga which grants buddhi. When Prabhupada is mentioning over here that when one tries to go back home, back to God and takes fully to Krishna consciousness, is called buddhi yoga. When one tries to do bhakti, and get into full Krishna, that's buddhi. And in other words, buddhi yoga is a process by which you get out of the entanglement of the material world. So either it means that buddhi, which helps us to do yoga, or yoga, which grants us buddhi. So what does it mean? Buddhi, which helps us to do yoga, means what? Is like buddhi, which helps us to do yoga, means buddhi, becomes a subservient to yoga. What is that? Anukullasa sankalpa pratikullasa varjayet. That devotee will immediately, will use his intelligence, buddhi, in understanding what is pratikul and what is anukul. This is about buddhi, which helps us to do yoga, and yoga, which grants buddhi, the bhakti, which will gives us the buddhi. भक्ति से भी उत्पन्न होता है बुद्धि. व्हाट इज दैट बुद्धि? शृण्वताम स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्य श्रवण कीर्तनः हृदयन्तस्तो अभद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृत्सताम. So this is actually buddhi, which yoga, which grants buddhi. So what is that? Shrinvatam swakatha Krishna punya shravana kirtana हृदयन्तस्तो भद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृत्सताम. So, और एवं प्रसन्न मनसो भगवत भक्ति योगतः, भगवत तत्व विज्ञान मुक्त संगस्त जायते. Right now. So it's been said over here, these two verses talks about what? Yoga which grants buddhi. If you do yoga means devotional service. You do Shravanam, Shranvatam Swakatha Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana. Hridayanto is abhadrani. Sare abhadra mit jayenge. All the abhadras in the heart will die. Then what will happen? Evam prasanna manaso. So the person will become happy. Bhagavat bhakti yogitah. और फिर क्या होगा? फिर क्या होगा? उसको भगवत तत्व विज्ञानम. Oh, by performance of yoga, he'll get Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam. So he gets buddhi. So yoga which grants buddhi is this, and your buddhi which helps us to do yoga is anukulyasya sankalpa, pratikulyasya varjanam. So both has to be there. That one is that we understand what is favorable and what is unfavorable, and we apply that in our life. That is vacho vegam, manasakrodha vegam, jihva vegam, udar vegam. These all what are buddhi, which helps us to do yoga, right? Na? No, and the Bhagavatam verses, yoga which leads to buddhi. Na? Both is there. It's been said over here. So one has to remember that foolishly one should not think that no, Bhagavan, Lord will give us buddhi. Lord will give us buddhi, one who is Preeti Purvakam. So that is truth. But Preeti Purvakam is not so easy. Majority, majority, of us fail when it comes to Preeti Purvakam, performance of devotional service. Generally, it is a it's a rules and regulations based bhakti, not with a Preeti Purvakam. So majority people they get up because why? If you don't get up, you have to write Mahamantra. You know, so this is not Preeti Purvakam yet. This is yet to be made into Preeti Purvakam. But this is also Buddhi Yoga. That if I get up, eventually I'll be able to chant properly. So this is what he is using his Buddhi to get up, perform devotion. Buddhi, which helps us to do yoga. And when we sit and do yoga, then we get also Buddhi. These are both has to be there. So if somebody is, so this is what Krishna is saying very exclusively over here that, so at very foundational level, we should know the goal and the script, and we should know the goal, and the scripture gives us the path. What is that path of rendering devotional service? And if when we render devotional service with a Preeti Purvakam, Krishna gives us the intelligence by which the path becomes more and more clear. So I hope you are understanding that scripture gives us the path we of rendering devotional service of devotion, and when we render devotional service with Preeti, the path becomes more clear and clear. It's like you're going on the road in North India. If you go on the road in December, January, it's all fog. So path is there. You are going, but if you go on that path no with no with respect, with faith that this path is fine, although it's not very clear visible because it's foggy. As you go, eventually, the fog dissipates away, the sun comes out, and the path becomes clear. And then you go full speed. You know, there's no, there's no uh, vagueness. It's clear. There's no fog. So that same happens when a devotee has anarthas in his heart, but uses his buddhi not to fall into anarthas, but to perform devotional service. He performs devotional service, while fighting anarthas, trying to safeguard his bhakti from anarthas, does not submits to anarthas. He performs devotional service, and with preeti, then what happens? The anarthas from the heart goes away, then, and then the devotee moves at a very fast speed in our path of bhakti. That's what's been said over here. So So actually one requires a humility. Now this verse, when Krishna is saying, Tadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamopayanti te. Oh, they will come back to me. I'll give them buddhi. So this requires a certain humility, you know, to accept it. See, please understand, these are very important verses. That's why I wish to, spend some more time on that. I'll cover the 10.10 and 10.11 both for sure today. But no, we are discussing right now is this: humility empowers, us. If we are not humble, we'll not depend on Krishna giving us the intelligence. So, see, whenever amid of difficulty, when it comes, our mind, goes on extremes, propel us between extremes. And what is that extreme? That, we, we may become, we may try to become flawless, or we may, think about ourselves as worthless, right? Now, flawless means what? Know, we may, we may expect ourselves to be perfect and try to fight against the odds that has created, try to be flawless in that and win over the problem that has come up by our own thinking oneself to be perfect. That doesn't happen. And when that doesn't happen, we are not able to fight the battle, we are not able to win over the battle, then worthlessness comes. We feel ourselves, oh, disempowering, utterly paralyzed, thinking that, oh, I'm good for nothing. So these two are the extreme approaches of a materialist people. You know, when the problem comes, they just fold the sleeves and just fight, thinking they are perfect. They will be, you know, fight, and what they fight, they become more entangled in this material world. But Krishna says in this verse, my devotee performs devotional service priti purvakam. And while his performance of sincere devotional service is going on, problems comes in his life. He falls amidst difficulties. No problem. I I give them the path by which they are never lost into difficulties of this world, but while facing the difficulty, doing the problem, solving the issue, what is needful doing, they come back to me. So no, so over here, because this Preeti Purvakam is humility. Humility enables us to, to find a mean between two extremes of flawlessness means trying to become God, omniscience and omnipotence. On one hand, I'll solve my problem my own, nobody I need. I know who's going to like some people say, अरे क्या भगवान आएंगे क्या हमें बचाने के लिए, हमें खुद करना है. हाँ ठीक है. You know, this is this is one side of trying to be Lord over, trying to be God. And another side, हम क्या कर सकते, कुछ नहीं कर सकते, हम बेकार हैं, is is utter ignorance. But humility is a midway. What is that humility? A devotee, take shelter of the Lord, take shelter of the devotees, take shelter of the Guru, and get, and under their supervision, under their under their shelter, he fights the odds of his life and is not lost. And this was the biggest, this was the biggest, I would say, um, you know, uh, biggest uh, thing which was there in the heart when the Lord made Prahlad Maharaj as the king. He was saying, my Lord, I'll be lost into this world. He said, no, you're not lost. You'll come back. Even Prayavart Maharaj didn't want to enter into the world because with this fear, I'll be lost. Because this world is such created that it makes us lost. Because the problem, the kind of responsibility that arises, it's very much that people get lost. And to be honest, you may see many of you, in your batch may see some of them getting lost, you know, as the problem arises in one's life. This is a fact. But we don't hope. That is why we are having Bhakti Shastri, that you understand it. That be humble. Humble means taking shelter of Vaishnavas, Guru, and under their shelter, performance of devotional service and living a life and solving our issues of the life also in that way. Else will not be lost. Else many people get lost. So that's why it is Dadami Buddhiyam, but requires humility. Krishna is saying that one who has humility will be saved. So that's what. So what mood is there? With what mood are we performing bhakti? You know, our mood matters. Our mood. Generally, we deny the mood, but over here, the mood Krishna has said it should be of priti purvaka. With affection, one has to do. Grudging mood doesn't works. Oh, I have to attend the class grudgingly. That doesn't works. So, no, since one has to have a gesture and words that represents our mood, and uh, one has to set right his mood of performance of devotional service. Perform with affection, not with negative emotion. So, and this is true. If you put attention to Krishna, you give your attention to Krishna, Krishna will give you everything. Krishna doesn't want much gross things, but Krishna do wants subtle things a lot. He wants our heart, he wants our mind, he wants our intelligence. Because one's heart, mind, intelligence is in Krishna, body will naturally go over there. So Krishna asks our affection. Perform bhakti, sing affectionately for Krishna. Chant his name, Krishna, with affection. You know, with affection, understanding there is a sambandha. Somebody does like that. Dadami, buddhi, yogam, tan, yena mam upayantate. For sure it happens. So after Krishna said this verse, then Krishna moves to the next verse and he says something more in a 10.11. So 10.11 is also a very famous verse. Acha, before we decide, do you have any questions for on this? What we just did, whole discussion, 10.10. Anyone? Any question? Okay, no question, then it's fine. Yeah, Rohit, bro.
Like, so Buddhi Yoga, I read it somewhere or I heard in class that we also say that like yoga is a process. So Buddhi Yoga means an intelligent process. Like that also we can say, like for example, we don't do so much austerity, but we intelligently please the Lord to connect to Him instead of doing austerity. So it's an intelligent way, like that.
Actually, uh, I'm, I'm just clarifying because to me, when you are saying about Buddhi Yoga, the way we intelligently skip austerity, actually, uh, we don't skip austerity. No, that's not intelligence. Uh, that's not intelligence. Then we accept the intelligence of Shastras. Uh, it's not that we apply our intelligence. Now, much of, in a sense, we apply our intelligence in understanding scripture. Not that ये easy path है, ये shortcut path है, ये थोड़ा dangerous है, थोड़ा attitude थोड़ा गड़बड़ हो सकता है. I hope you understand what you're saying. Buddhi Yoga very clearly has been said. You use your buddhi in understanding what is favorable, what is unfavorable, based on the scripture, you perform devotional service, and if you perform devotional service, Priti Purvakam, Krishna gives you buddhi, means what? Tat Bhagavad Vijnana will be very clear to us. Path will become much more clear to us. That's what has been said. Uh, yeah, and we perform bhakti also because maybe you are saying in this way that we understand that bhakti is the easiest path. We don't have to pluck our nose and to submerge ourselves in the cold water in a chill winter day. No, we don't have to do those things. So better I accept this. Okay. But just just a remark, not in a way that we know we college or school we do, trying to figure out shortcut. That nature may not be so suitable over here. Is that fine, Prabhu?
Yes, Oji. So, like that like example like it was austerity, but intelligent means it see the purpose and it like it the purpose of what the activities are in that way.
Yeah, that's what.
That
If
was
it,
my point. Yeah.
yeah, right, right,
Okay.
right. That's what.
Yes, Oji.
Anyhow, okay. Any more question to anyone? Let's move to the next one. 10.11. तेषामेवानुकम्पार्थम् अहम् अज्ञानजं तमः नाश्यामि आत्मभावस्तो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वतः. Yeah, translation.
To show them special mercy, I dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Purport. When Lord Chaitanya was in Banaras, promulgating the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thousands of people were following him. Prakashanand Saraswati, a very influential and learned scholar in Banaras at that time, derided Lord Chaitanya for being a sentimentalist. Sometimes Mayavadi philosophers criticize the devotees because they think that most of the devotees are in the darkness of ignorance and are philosophically named sentimentalists. Actually, that is not the fact. There are very, very learned scholars who have put forward the philosophy of devotion. But even if a devotee does not take advantage of their literatures or of his spiritual master, if he is sincere in his devotional service, he is helped by Krishna himself within his heart. So the sincere devotee engaged in Krishna consciousness cannot be without knowledge. The only qualification is that one carry out devotional service in full Krishna consciousness. The Mayavadi philosophers think that without discriminating one cannot have pure knowledge. For them, this answer is given by the Supreme Lord. Those who are engaged in pure devotional service, even though they be without sufficient education and even without sufficient knowledge of the Vedic principles, are still held by the Supreme God as stated in this verse. Arjuna, the Lord tells Arjuna that basically there is no possibility of understanding the supreme truth, the absolute truth, supreme personality of Godhead, simply by speculating. For the supreme truth is so great that it is not possible to understand him or to achieve him simply by making a mental effort. A man can go on speculating for several millions of years, and if he is not devoted, if he is not a lover of the supreme truth, he will never understand Krishna or the supreme truth. Only by devotional service is the supreme truth Krishna pleased, and by his inconceivable energy can reveal himself to the heart of the pure devotee. The pure devotee always has Krishna within his heart. And with the presence of Krishna, who is just like the sun, the darkness of ignorance is at once dissipated. This is the special mercy rendered to the pure devotee by Krishna. Due to the contamination of material association, through many, many millions of births, one's heart is always covered with the dust of materialism. But when one engages in devotional service and constantly chants Hare Krishna, the dust quickly clears and one is elevated to the platform of pure knowledge. The ultimate goal Vishnu can be attained only by this chant and by devotional service, and not by mental speculation or argument. The pure devotee does not have to worry about the necessities of life. He need not be anxious because when he removes the darkness from his heart, Everything is provided automatically by the Supreme Lord, who is pleased by the loving devotional service of the devotee. This is the essence of teachings of Bhagavad Gita. By studying Bhagavad Gita, one can become a soul completely surrendered to the Supreme Lord and engage himself in pure devotional service. As the Lord takes charge, one becomes completely free from all kinds of materialistic endeavors.
Yeah, so this verse is very, Krishna, is very clearly saying that, see, that somebody who performs bhakti of mine, with Preeti, that is proper says Buddhi Yoga. Actually, one Buddhi Yoga is, one is this that we understand by our intelligence that bhakti is the best process and I should perform it because it's the easy process and, uh, and the highest process. No, okay, this is very good in the beginning, but buddhi should be once we have come to bhakti, once we have accepted bhakti process, one the buddhi has to be used in putting our affection to Krishna. So we have come to bhakti, that is truth. But one has to now use his buddhi that, oh, Krishna is so kind, Krishna is so loving, Krishna is so sweet, Krishna is so considerate. So Krishna is so, gentle, no, he's so, uh, he's so submissive to his devotees also. So by understanding that, a devotee chants, worship, serve Krishna with affection. That is Buddhi Yoga. So, yes, coming to Bhakti with understanding that Bhakti is the highest process, the best process, is very fine, is very good. But we have come to Bhakti, right now. And to come to Bhakti, now one has to do what? One has to use his Buddhi, intelligence, in understanding, oh, Krishna is so great, Krishna is so sweet, Krishna is so kind, considerate, all those things he has, you know, let me, perform, perform devotional service affectionately to him, Now I'll not do things, which is unfavorable for cultivating bhakti, and I'll do things which will is favorable, and I'll perform it, the favorable items for devotional service with preeti. Let me put my affection to the Lord. So let my head and my heart sink in Krishna. Before we give head to Krishna by accepting bhakti, and rejecting all other process of jnana and yoga. Maybe some of you, know, But now one has to give his heart to Krishna also. So he has to use his head in putting his heart to Krishna also now. Now don't allow the heart to be somewhere else. Now people easily write, I lost my heart in Vrindavan. But to lose that heart in Vrindavan is not so easy. Heart is at so many places. Bring that heart intelligently. Disentangle that heart from all those places. Bring it to the lotus feet of Krishna. Head and heart should sink in Krishna together. This is Buddhi Yoga. For one who has come to the process of bhakti. So here now Krishna is saying, uh, Rohit Pro, is it clear? To right now what I said to you, right? What we just discussed right now about Buddhi Yoga. He's in different world probably. Okay, anyhow. So I hope you could understand what I'm saying. There's a Buddhi Yoga in coming to Krishna, accepting bhakti, and now it has to be used intelligence, the Buddhi, in submitting to Krishna, Preeti Purvakam. So now just don't perform devotional, just don't chant because that's the highest process. That's fine. That is right. That is good. Now you perform chanting, with knowing Krishna is the most sweetest person. His name is the most sweetest thing. There's nothing sweeter than anything than his name. So now, Jand, with that, use your intelligence in this way. That is Buddhi Yoga. So this is Buddhi Yoga for those who have accepted Bhakti. So now over here, Krishna is saying, Tesham evanukampatham. Oh, I show special mercy. What special mercy do you show to those fellows who perform Bhakti, Preeti Purvakam to you? Aham ajnanajam tamaha. Oh, I know what happened. I dwell in so he's saying, I, uh, what I do, nashyami, I destroy. What do you destroy? The ignorance, agyan jam tama. Acha, from do you destroy the darkness of or the ignorance of the heart of your devotees from outside or inside? Where you are situated, atma bhavastho, sitting within their heart. you know, I destroy. That's cheto darpana marjanam, right? Na? विद इन द हार्ट चेतो तो भगवान क्लीन करते हैं हार्ट को बहुत गंदगी है हृदय में बट मेरा नाम ले रहा है प्रीति पूर्वक तो भगवान भी झाड़ू और पोछा लेते हैं और क्लीन करते हैं हमारे हृदय को उससे क्या होता है ज्ञान दीपे न भास होता है ना नो द शाइनिंग लैम्प ऑफ नॉलेज is ignited within the heart of the devotee and the ignorance is destroyed thrown away so that's what happens. So see see when we are in darkness, when you're in a dark room, it gives us confusion. We immediately want to enlighten. We immediately want to switch on the light, and we want to come in comfort by switching on the light. So this is truth when we are in the room, in the dark room. But what about the darkness within the heart? Some people like that darkness. Yeah. Why? What does the darkness in the heart means? Oh, the darkness, no, the darkness is the negative feelings, the nasty desires, the doubts, the troubles, no, 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 no. These are dark. This is what is in darkness of our heart. Heart is nasty, lustful desires, nasty desire to control, to loot, to enjoy, desires of negativity, envy, jealousy, doubts. ना क्या कर रहा हूं मैं भक्ति में क्या भक्ति कर रहा हूं some doubts is Krishna really there you know nasty doubts these trouble us torment us drain us defeats us good for nothing make a bad out of us this is darkness but some people like it like I was distributing book one day one place so I showed the book to one person he said नहीं 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 ये बुक बहुत अच्छी किताब है मेरा एक रिलेटिव है मेरा एक भांजा है वो वो जन्म से नॉनवेज खाता था वो आपके संस्थान में जुट गया हम नॉनवेज नहीं खाता वो तो मैंने पूछा आप खुश हैं या नाराज हैं नहीं नहीं खुश हैं अच्छा है उसने छोड़ दिया है देखा मुझे थोड़ा आदत है थोड़ा पीने का और नॉनवेज खाने का मैं बोला अच्छा है आप भी बुक लीजिए चला जाएगा नहीं 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 हाँ, नहीं सब होगा धीरे धीरे होगा you know he doesn't want to give up that ignorance that darkness in his heart he is rejoicing his lust is rejoicing his ignorance he doesn't want to give up that ignorance so people feel very comfortable are very uncomfortable in a dark room but hey light jalao but what about the darkness within the heart they enjoy it now sometimes people enjoy lust you know they they think that is good इतना क्या सीरियस होने का चलता है थोड़ा डाउट आ रहा है थोड़ा लस्ट है चलता है so sometimes sometimes person may be very comfortable in darkness out of sheer foolishness so Krishna is saying over here that no I throw away. No. So, so sometimes, sometimes emotions comes, and negative emotions comes. People identify with that, you know, they think, they think, oh, it is my emotion. But these emotions are product of mind, which we are not. So these all darkness, which is there, you know, you know, Krishna is saying, my devotee, if he performs devotional service with Priti, with in Buddhi Yoga, rejecting, although the mind is saying some emotions of lust, emotions of anger, emotions of greed, but he understands this is using his Buddhi, he understands, oh, this is unfavorable, gives up, doesn't succumbs to it, and performs worship of mine, chants my name with Priti, then what I do? They don't have to do any extra effort. Krishna is saying, Aham Agyan Jam Tamaha Nashyami Atma Bhavasto, right? Na? Jnana Deepena Bhasvata. So all that is born out of ignorance, I destroy it within the heart of my devotees and I lit the torchlight of the knowledge within their heart. So that is why who's foolish Prakash and Saraswati like people think that devotees are sentimental. Fool. Ay, who said Jai Krishna Bhaje Sai Bara Chatu? What do you say, Jeev Goswami, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami? They are fool. One who considered them to be sentimental, he is a fool. So Krishna is saying that that even if my devotee is a fool, चलो उसको बुद्धि नहीं है, but sincere है, मैं उसको बुद्धिमान बना दूंगा. कैसे बुद्धिमान बनाऊंगा? By letting the torchlight of knowledge within his heart, all which is abhadra will be destroyed away. He'll be cleansed off, and he'll be situated in knowledge. So this is this is a promise of Krishna that if we ourselves feel that, oh, how I can, no, surely we can't, no, we can't, no, cleanse our heart, but one has to be sincere. Use your buddhi in giving up what is nonsense, unfavorable, and accepting favorable. Perform the accept favorable with priti. Krishna will do everything else. So, and the whole thing is over here in these all verses 10.10 to 10.11. It's been said about remembering Krishna. Now, the whole process is about remembering Krishna. Madchitta, Madgata, Prana, Odayanta, Parasparam. Right? Na? Priti Purvakam means what he is remembering Krishna and performing bhakti. Na? He's not performing bhakti without remembering Krishna. Without remembering Krishna, performance of bhakti is what, like Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. But he is not remembering Krishna. He's not hearing Krishna. He's not remembering Krishna. He's not remembering whose name I am chanting. So for them it is going to be difficult. Now, but performance of bhakti is there with remembrance of Krishna. Remembrance of Krishna means understanding. I'm chanting Krishna's name. I'm worshipping Krishna. He's the most beautiful, most loving, most powerful, most knowledgeable, most renounced personality. I'm chanting his name. One who performs bhakti, you know, this way, then what happens? Krishna gives him clarity, Krishna gives him purity, Krishna gives simplicity. Yeah. So these are three practical benefits of remembrance of Krishna. We can understand it very clearly. I said to you, first one, what I told you, who will tell?
Priti Purvakam.
No. First benefit, right now I said to you. Priti Purvakam, okay. If you perform, what happens? What Krishna gives? अरे अभी बोला मैंने. Clarity, आप लोग क्या सुनते हैं या वही खेल बोलता हूँ?
Krishna created
क्लैरिटी,
the heart
हाँ हाँ,
by
हाँ
light.
हाँ, हाँ, क्लैरिटी, प्योरिटी, सिंप्लिसिटी। आर यू ऑल देयर विथ मी, और मैं जस्ट बोलते ही जा रहा हूँ? यू नो, so this is what happens. What do we mean by Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam, or the Lord Krishna is saying, no, Jnana Deepena Bhasvata. Huh? What is that Jnana Deepena Bhasvata? Is clarity, purity, simplicity. So what does it mean? Clarity, purity, simplicity. Clarity means what? Our inner world, our mind, our heart is is very crowded and clouded by many negativity, emotions, desires, and ideas. Emotions to enjoy the world, desires, emotions of emotions of enjoying the world, desires, of such material desires and ideas to fulfill those desires. Material desires are there in our heart. But when we cultivate remembrance of Krishna, what happens is that Krishna, the remembrance of Krishna stimulates presence of Krishna in our heart, and the inner fog is dissipated. Once the inner fog is dissipated, I hope you remember I told you, when the fog is dissipated, when the fog vanishes from the road, clarity comes. So same way, the fog of negative emotions, negative material desires, and materialistic ideas is thrown away. Clarity comes, in our one's heart. You know, you know, we we also see better which of our desires and emotions are healthy and uplifting, and which are unhealthy and degrading. So before to that, people identify with those negative emotions, with negative desires, and that's why people fall into trap. Uh, Lustful desires come, people start acting on it because they think there is their desire. It's all foggy. They are not able to evaluate also that is unhealthy and healthy, what is uplifting, what is degrading. So as we perform devotional service properly, sincerely, clarity comes. You know, so then a person actually does not indulge himself, in fault finding and making a joy over others' failure and all those things. Then he values, then he understand what is healthy for my Krishna consciousness, what is unhealthy. So clarity comes. Before to that is all kachara, all crowded. जैसे होता है ना, no, clarity in one sense, like, just give you a mundane example, and like, अभी पुणे municipality says ना, गीला कचरा सूखा कचरा अलग अलग डब्बे में रखो. कचरा नहीं है. पहले क्या होता था, सब कचरा एक ही जगह रहता था, राइट ना. अभी कम से कम ऐसा है कि अभी आप आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं ये गीला कचरा है, ये सूखा कचरा है. तो वैसा ही, तो नो, तो something like that in our heart, something good, something bad, all mixed up. People are not able to understand what is actually bad, what is good, what is uplifting, what is degrading. They have no understanding. Ones who perform devotional service properly gets the clarity. He understands, oh, this is negative, this is bad reason of my heart, this is good reason of my heart. This is a good idea, this is a bad idea. This is a good desire, this is a bad desire. So these are good emotions, they are negative, bad emotions. Clarity comes. Then the second, purity comes. So when we invoke Krishna, no, we invoke his presence inside our heart by remembering him, we become internally satisfied. And the more satisfied we are, the less we are allured by impure desires for worldly indulgence. And as we pay those desires lesser attention, they start weakening and die. And then what happens? And then Krishna strengthens our healthy desires centered on loving Him, serving Him, like that. And then this is how the purity within one's devotee's heart arises. First, clarity arises, then clarity leads to purity. Right? Na? Clarity means distinguishing what is unhealthy and healthy. Very clear, easy. सत असत साफ साफ समझ में आता है उसको ना? पहले और पहले तो क्या सत और असत का मिक्स सब सब ऐसे ही एक साथ चलता है मिक्सर में जैसे सब कुछ घूमता है वैसे ही घूमता है उसका है ना एंड yeah. And sometimes even after performance of devotional service people are still are not able to they get emotions desires of wrong things you know and like one devotee is glorifying other devotee and he's and that and other devotee is feeling uncomfortable. He is saying, "Huh, क्या अच्छा किया है उसने सब तो बुरा किया है," because he has envy and he does not understand that he's going on a wrong track. He's unhealthy, unclear. No? So he is, but as he performs bhakti, Priti Purvakam, gives Krishna his attention, his time, his energy, his mind, his intelligence, clarity comes. Then, with after clarity, he accepts what is healthy, what is uplifting, and gives away what is unhealthy, what is degrading. Purity arises in one's heart. And when clarity and purity is there, simplicity is born automatically. So, what is this simplicity? Then that devotee, then that devotee uh, does does not lives on, frees himself from unhealthy dependence on worldly things. Then he does not indulge into like over shopping, overeating, over indulging in comfort, entertainment, sensual pleasures, fault finding, all those things. Live a simple life of Krishna in Krishna consciousness, not too much dependent on worldly things. Live a simple. So this is three practical benefits of performance of devotional service with a remembrance of Krishna means Preeti Purvaka. Clarity, purity, simplicity. So this is what Krishna is saying. Jnana deepena bhasvata. No. So I give these three things to my devotees. I lit the light, torchlight of the knowledge within their heart, and they live a life of clarity, purity, and simplicity. That's what it means. So, if you have any questions, you can ask. LC, Tejasro, you would like to ask on your group, or you like to ask over here tomorrow for tomorrow's class?
I will ask on group.
Okay, you ask on group. Okay, Satnarayan, you have a question.
Hare Krishna, Buddy. Vinod. Thank you for the class, Buddy.
Then,
Proji, as you mentioned earlier, even now also you mentioned these three things, the qualities of simplicity, can be come through the above two things. But Proji, but this can only be achieved when we take the names of Lord Krishna, Priti Purvakam, with love and affection. And but as you also mentioned, it might sound very obvious question, but still, Pro want to understand key again and again, Pro. We forgot to take the name of Krishna with loving and affection. So just want to understand key is reading and hearing more about Krishna will help that, right, Pro?
yeah,
That is the only thing
yes,
that we can do. No? Nothing aside from that.
yes, yes. We have to do that and do it with with बुद्धि लगाओ इसमें बुद्धि लगाओ मन को मारने के लिए क्योंकि मन तो अभी गलत जगह जाना चाहता है मन को मारो शास्त्र पढ़ो प्रेम पूर्वक पढ़ो मतलब क्या विथ अटेंशन विथ रिस्पेक्ट अरे ही इज ओनली गॉन अरे हाँ ही इज ओके सो नो respectfully with attentively hear and read scripture Take in Krishna mood. Then chant Krishna's name with attention. No, this Krishna is the one who, who to whom my best attention, my maximum attention has to be given. Because he's the most loving man, personality in my life. Is it fine?
Hmm.
Okay. Anything more, bro? I hope this is fine.
Hare Krishna. Bro. Is it
Ah,
audible?
yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Ah, yeah.
Sorry. I thought I was speaking. Yes, bro. Bro, in the same context, bro, as you just also mentioned, give the example of one devotee blaspheming the other devotee. Sorry, glorifying the other devotee. But in that moment, one devotee is saying कि हाँ क्या क्या ही अच्छा काम किया है. That वाला point. Not try to want to understand from a blasphemy point of view, but actually understand from practical point of view. Bro, sometimes it happens कि we see a devotee is performing very nice devotional services, uh, maybe but what I feel ki Prabhu, when it comes to real world situations or even in myself also, sometimes we become not only just a devotional thing but also inhuman things, Prabhu, like speaking, let it be speaking, but we also try to corner sometimes one devotee ki you are not waking up, you are not doing some things. Or sometimes also in the material world we don't show sympathy to normal other human beings also. Very small things, bro. Sometimes it actually raises a question, bro. Is it really the person, or me itself, are really doing bhakti, or I'm just being ritualistic again? Because that makes no difference between the karmi people and me. Because I'm just, as mentioned, ki I'm taking Krishna's name, I'm reading Bhagavad Gita, or attending Bhakti Shastri for the sake of attending Bhakti Shastri, or for the sake of attendance. So again, it becomes not Priti Purvakam, na Prabhuji. So in such scenarios, Prabhu, it really arises a question: do we really understand bhakti? And also in the last class, Prabhu, while discuss like maybe 7 8 classes earlier, also I was asking the same question: ki if really there is no Goloka and there is nothing, and this place doesn't exist, and still someone would have told me, sorry, and someone would have told me that there is no Dukhalam concept, there is no miseries, I wouldn't have loved Krishna, bro, at the very first place.
Hmm.
So how to conceive these things, Prabhu?
No, actually, over here, Priti Purvakam is not about the attainment of love. That is why I'm again saying Priti Purvakam means with attention, with respect. That's what
So
the
is
word
it for
buddhi.
initial phases, or it is the very
No,
definition of itself?
till the point we are sadhana bhaktas. No, till the point
Okay.
our anarthas are not destroyed. This is the truth. With whatever, so we put our attention while remembering Krishna. We give our attention to Krishna when we remember He is the prime object of our attention. No, if you don't remember that, we will not give it because we don't have a spontaneous love for Krishna. We are attending, you are attending Bhakti Shastri or any class, morning class or whatsoever. If you don't apply your buddhi in understanding that, oh, this is Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Oh, and you don't, and if you don't apply, you will not put attention to it. If you don't put attention to it, spontaneous love for Krishna will never arise. So it may look like a drama right now, may
True,
look
true,
like,
Prabhuji.
huh? But if you do it with attention, with intelligence, it won't be a drama because we have a sound logic, reasoning, backup of Shastras behind it. It's not a drama. No. Drama you do inattentively or attentively, doesn't matter. Your performance matter. Over here, attention matters, not just a performance matter. So this is not a drama. Is it
Got it,
fine?
Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, we are not doing
So
a drama.
Love can't
Yeah,
be attained, na, Prabhu. I have to be like practice with
yeah,
sadhana, and Krishna is the only one who can award me with love. You're
yeah.
just trying to get his attention by
Yes,
paying
to the
attention.
yes, to the degree we understand that he deserves my attention, the max, nothing else. And then how we understand by when we associate with great devotees, we hear from them, we read shastras, because we have a disease of forgetfulness. Hmm.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay,
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
thank you. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Tejasvi, let me know as soon as possible.
Ah, yes, Prabhu.